So in honor of Clayton Clutch Keller being named the captain, the first ever captain for the Utah Hockey Club, we're going to go ahead here in NHL 25, rebuild them in the hopes of taking home a Stanley Cup for the first time ever. Obviously, they are the newest team in the league, literally just got relocated from Arizona, haven't even played a regular season game yet, and GM Pasta is on the job. There's no limit to this. I can go as long as I want, pretty much until I get fired. And we shall see if my GM skills have translated here in NHL 25. Now, Utah honestly got a little bit better over the offseason. They had a great addition, a trade for Mikhail Sergachev, 88 overall on the back end with Sean Dursey. We have young players like Nick Schmaltz, who is not young. What am I saying? Clayton Keller is only 26 years old. Logan Cooley's 20. Dylan Gunther's only 21. I mean, we got a young team, Barrett Hayton. I believe there are some prospects in the American Hockey League, so we should tank for the first few seasons, try to draft very well, and then hopefully by like year 3 or 4, start competing for the playoffs, and then eventually grow into a Stanley Cup contender. Also, I am going to go ahead here and give Clayton Keller the captaincy, considering he got it in real life. He's the first captain in Utah Hockey Club history. First order of business, I want to find a young franchise goalie to add to this team. He doesn't have to be a high overall. He just has to have great potential. We need a number 1 D-man. Our forwards, honestly, are the most set out of any other thing in our franchise right now. We do have a lot of young forwards, but we need a defenseman prospect and a goalie prospect as well. Now, at the end of season number 1, I'm not too surprised. am surprised. We had a good year. 43, 36, and 3, 89 points. We didn't make the playoffs, but that was because our division was just very, very good. We had 43 wins in our first ever season as a franchise. The Boston Bruins were the best team in the league. They had 52 wins. At the bottom, it was the New York Islanders, 30, 48, and 4. That is tough. Our captain, Clayton Keller, was our best player. He had 72 points in the regular season. Dylan Gunther had a big year, 28 goals. Nick Schmaltz was decent. Logan Cooley, I mean, I was expecting a little better of a season, but hopefully he can grow. Maselli was all right. Lawson Krause was decent. And in goal, Connor Ingram, 34 wins, and he actually was pretty good. A 9-10 save percentage is not bad by any means. He also had 2 shutouts. Nathan McKinnon, dear God, he didn't even have the most goals. It was David Pasternak with 75 on the season. Nathan McKinnon did have the most points, though, at 136. So this is what I'm going to build my team for. Offense, offense, offense. The simulation heavily leans towards offensive players, so if we can become the best offensive team, I think we can win a cup. Swayman, most wins at 44, and the most shutouts will be between Jari and Georgiev, both having 7. End of year number 1, we got Colorado going all the way, beating the Rangers in 6 games in the final. So the Avs now have 2 Stanley Cups in like 3 years. Are they a dynasty net yet? Probably not. They probably need 1 more, but they are one of the best teams of the 2020s, maybe the best so far. Mikko Rantanen had 21 goals and 40 points in the postseason, setting Colorado Avalanche records. Dear God, that is insane. I literally never in a million years thought Mikko Rantanen had that dog in him like that. McKinnon will take on the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Actually, the Hart went to Sam Reinhart. That is different. Pasternak, the Maurice Richard, McCarr, the Norris. We got Rantanen, the Conn Smythe. Jeremy Swayman, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Ryan O'Reilly. The Utah Hockey Club literally did not move in the draft lottery. We are going to be selecting 15th overall, which is not great, but I mean, we were a pretty good team in the regular season. I was not expecting to get a high pick. So here we are with the 15th overall pick. I don't even know who I want. A lot of these guys are unknown. We could take Parker Garnett. He's a playmaker, medium elite potential possibly. He's NHL ready and has a similar style to Marcus Naslund. We could use a center. There's a right winger who is starred. I don't have any report on him. Cole Ricci, he's 2 years away from making the NHL. Petrov's a defenseman. He's NHL ready in 1 year and has a similar style to Zdeno Chara, even though he's only 6'4". I think because we have Logan Cooley already and he's the future at our first line center, I'm going to go with Andrei Petrov. He's NHL ready in 1 season, similar style to Zdeno Chara, and he has top 4 medium potential. Already a 77 overall, which is good. So here's the plan. Antti Kukkonen is a gem. He's a hybrid goalie. He's unknown. I also want Ravens Beren. So I want both of these goaltenders. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this guy and then trade for like the next pick, if not the one after that, to select the Ravens Beren. And then we'll have 2 goaltending prospect of the future, medium elite potential at a 47. Let's freaking go, lads. I will give 2 third-round picks to the Vancouver Canucks for 1 second. They're 67th overall, and the trade has been accepted. Beautiful. Now we head back to the draft here and select that other goaltender in, what was his first name? I forget his first name. It's Ravensbourne. Joshua Ravensbourne. Welcome to Utah. Elite low potential. Beautiful. So here we are in free agency. We have $28 million to spend. I don't want to get like a proven older veteran. If there's any young guys available, I might go after them. Luke Kunin could be a guy. He's an 84 overall. I don't think he's that old, like 26 years old. He's 27, so he's in the middle of his prime. Lindgren, no. Kerfoot, no. Is there any goaltenders available on the market right now? Veg Melka, he has organization interest literally maxed out. We could bring him back as a backup. Who knows? Unfortunately, Luke Kunin rejected my offer. He's going with another team that offered a better contract that meets his needs. All right, what about Veg Melka? Is he re-signing or is he not? Soderstrom, I've spent some... Why is the font so big? I can't even read it. I think another year with the franchise is just what I need, so I'm happy to accept. Did Veg Melka not accept my offer? I didn't get any pop-up whatsoever. Now, heading into season number 2, we pretty much have a similar roster. We didn't pick up anybody big in the offseason, but our young guys definitely got better. Cooley's up to an 88 overall. Keller's still an 89. Gunther, 86. Defensively, we got Sergachev and our young prospect and Andrei Petrov, 18 years old. He's going to get all the minutes in the world starting on that first line D pair. And we're still rocking with Ingram and Veg Melka as our goaltending tandem. I don't think I'm going to set a goal yet to our head coach, considering we're not going to be a good team whatsoever. So I'm just going to end. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. I'm going to set a season goal. Looks like the roster on paper, there's some kinks to work out, but the team is good enough to compete for a playoff spot. You think so? Make the final. Agree. No expectations. I'm going to go no Actually, no. Manage morale. Make the playoffs, dude. Make the goddamn playoffs. Now that we have established our expectations for the season, end conversation. I'm done there. Thank you for the vote of confidence. This should be great, or it should be the start of something great. I swear, earlier on in the year, oh my God, we went on a hell of a losing streak. We were 17-14 in like 4, and then we're 20-34 and 8. So we have, for the past like 2 months, we have been just straight up losing game after game. That is insane. We tanked the entire season. Basically, call us the Detroit Red Wings. So we really did not have a great season at the bottom of the Central, 29-43 and 10. So a bit of a worse record than we had last season, only 68 points. If we take a look at the entire National Hockey League, the Oilers had 59 wins, Dallas 54, and Chicago with Bedard are improving drastically. We are one of the bottom 4 teams in the league, so hopefully we get a high draft pick. Maybe we get number 1 overall and we can draft Gavin McKenna. That would be a dream come true. Again, Keller was our best player. He had a similar numbers. I mean, 69 points in the season. Cooley had 64. Gunther, 56. Matthias Maselli was decent, I guess. Barrett Hayton wasn't that great. And Josh Stone, only 11 goals and 36 points for our goaltenders. Connor Ingram did have 2 shutouts, but worse stats than last season. Leon Draisaitl will tear up 135 points, leading all skaters. McDavid at 133. Kucherov, 122. And for goals, Connor Bedard at 20 years old will put up 72 tucks on the season. Past at 64, McDavid 60, Kucherov 60. Damn, this simulation engine is crazy for offense. Skinner had the most wins in the league, and the most shutouts will go to Freddie Anderson and Joseph Wall, who both had 7 apiece. Well, a rematch between Florida and Edmonton literally went the same exact way, with the Oilers losing in a Game 7 scenario. Does EA want me to just pour my heart out right now? Like, what's going on? Individually speaking, we got Draisaitl winning the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Bedard, the Maurice Richard, Evan Bouchard, the Norris. Sam Reinhart will win the Conn Smythe. Skinner, the Vezina, and the Selke shall go to Sid, the old man Crosby. Well, it doesn't look like we moved up at all. Buffalo will win the draft lottery. Seattle 2nd. The Islanders fell all the way down to 3rd, and we get the Utah Hockey Club 4th. Now, this might be a long shot, but Gavin McKenna is going 1st overall. I want that, man. We get a 1st, 2nd, and Loston Krause for the 1st overall pick from the Buffalo Sabres, and they are completely barking up the wrong tree. So let me see if I can sweeten the deal just a tad here. Add in a 2030 and 2031 first-round pick, as well as another second-round pick to see if they will accept this trade. And Buffalo Sabres fans are going to be cheering on the streets when we announce this deal. We may have had to give up 3 first-round picks, but Gavin McKenna is literally a generational prospect. And there he is, franchise medium potential. I don't know what overall he is. He had 63 goals in the WHL. His similar style is Wayne Gretzky, man. Welcome to Utah, the new face of the franchise. 82 overall stud. With the 38th overall pick, I think I'm going to go with Tommy Campbell. He is unknown. He's a grinder, but he is a gem. So let's select him with a 38th overall pick. And there he is, 58 overall. He's top 6 medium potential. He could be a good third or second line winger, I'm not going to lie. Maybe even a centerman. Riley Boychuk from the WHL, I believe. He's a sniper, and he's got NHL ready in 3 oh my god. Riley Boychuk, I mean, he's a sniper. We're in the 3rd round at this point, I believe. He's 3 years ready until he's ready to play in the National Hockey League. No similar style, but if I can get a sniper that maybe I can develop, that would be nice. Top 9 medium potential isn't the greatest, but it's the 2nd round. What am I expecting to get here? I mean, top 6 medium could be available, possibly. We do need to take a defenseman in this draft, so I'm going to go with Brek Leeske from, I don't even know where from, a 7th defenseman. He's got top 6 medium potential and a 63 overall. All right, let's see what Logan Cooley wants from this. Let's go ahead and proceed with negotiation. Where would I like to start? Let's share more. No, let's share more about the organization. Try to get his interest up right now. Right now, your organization is my first choice, but I'm willing to hear you out. Our smaller market size has unique advantages. Team in the rebuilding phase, we offer unique growth opportunities. Team status. There we go. What is he saying? Aiming to be on a contending team is critical for me. We're not aligned on this. It isn't a serious concern, or it is a serious concern. Being part of a rebuild means we're not just part of the team, but shaping our future. I think there are elements of our organization that might appeal to you. Let's explore that. Market size. I guess we have to go with the market size. Our smaller market. The appeal of a smaller market team isn't lost on me. The importance aligns with what I'm looking for in our organization. Okay. Well, playing well in Utah will be a big part of our close-knit community. Contract. There we go. Persuade him. Try to get it up a little bit. There we go. We got to agree, and you put things into perspective for me. I could definitely see the value in that. That's great to hear. How about we explore other aspects of our organization? New topic. Let's go to a new topic right now. Contract. Let's discuss terms. I want a long-year contract. 8 years for Logan Cooley. And what does he want? He wants $9.8 million. Can we try to find a more team-friendly deal here? Yeah, team-friendly, definitely. Let's negotiate here. Ooh, I'm hear you, but given our full discussion, I'm not open to a salary decrease right now. We need to revisit the salary discussion and find a deal that's more team-friendly. To emphasize our commitment to you, let's discuss enhancing the current contract offer. There we go. Improve offer. What if we give him like a... Clauses. There we go. A full no movement clause. No movement, no trade clause. Let's give him a modified no trade clause within the contract. Does he want that? What is the structure of the clause? We'll cover the entire contract. Reduced. No. Full. We'll give him a full no movement. I prefer clauses with the most protection possible. How about this one? Hand it off to him. I appreciate the discussion, but doesn't quite meet my expectations. Oh my god. Despite arguing with Logan Cooley, he is signed for 8.7 for, I believe, 6 years. So we locked him up long-term for basically the rest of the video. Free agents that are available, a lot of them are older. I wish I could see their age right off the bat here, but we got like Kopitar, Nyquist, Talk would be a good one, although he's asking for 8.7. I want to keep salary available for the future to speed up our rebuild as soon as that. Ooh, Timothy Liljegren will be a good defenseman to go after. He's 27 years old, only an 84 overall. He wants like 5.1 mil. We have the money to give that to him, and that would definitely improve our roster. Goalie-wise, Connor Ingram. Yeah, we got to bring back Ingram for sure. So we got swerved by Timothy Liljegren. He rejected our offer. He went to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Moving along here to another day. Are we not going to see Josh Stone or Connor Ingram either accept or reject our offers? What, I guess, if you re-sign players to your franchise, it doesn't pop up. A little bit weird, in my opinion. Heading into season number 3, Gavin McKenna will make his NHL debut on that first line with Logan Cooley, who's up to a 90, and Clayton Keller, who's an 89. We got TJ Ginla all the way up at an 84 alongside Maselli and Gunther. We got Doan, Hayton, and some other guy in the third line. Defensively, again, Petrov and Sergachev I'm not shooting for the playoffs. I'm just shooting for some improvement here. We are still in the rebuilding years. Sean Dursey, I'm going to move you up, though, to the second D pair. And if we take a look at goal, we still have Connor Ingram. And Ravensburg at a 69 overall is our backup. So hopefully he never has to play. And there he is, the face. Well, not the face yet, but the future face of the Utah Hockey Club, Gavin McKenna. He looks pretty clean in the uniform. Possibly the future captain as well. Who knows? Only time will tell. All right, so here we are. I want to go after Brandt Clark so he can be the future on our team on the back end with Petrov. He's got 3 years left on his deal. Already an 88 overall. I got Sean Dursey, a second, third, fourth, and another third. And the trade has been rejected. So we're probably going to have to add in another second round pick, maybe even a first to get Brandt Clark. He's a very good prospect here, so let's see if that will go through. Yeah, they're not really digging my offer too much right now. I'm going to throw in Barrett Hayton and a third round pick to try to sweeten the deal just a touch. We are higher on the trade value, but I don't think LA wants to get rid of Brandt Clark, and they desperately do not. So we're not going to get our hands on him right now. I'm not really willing to give up. You know what? Screw it. One of our later first round picks of like 2029 or maybe 2032. There we go. I'll throw in a first rounder to see if this will go through. Instead of Barrett Hayton, I'll remove him from the trade. And there we go. I almost feel guilty saying yes to this deal, but it does not matter as GM Pasta has just acquired Brandt Clark from the Los Angeles Kings. Loading up on the draft picks, I'll remove some of these here to go after Hutanen, who's 78 overall, top 6 medium potential. He's only 23 years old, 2 years left on his deal. He can be a young guy that I want to snag, and there we go. The Tampa Bay Lightning do accept my offer. Devin Levi on the chopping block. He does need to be re-signed, but that dude could be our goaltender of the future. We're going to give up Connor Ingram, a 4th, 5th, and a 6th to see if Buffalo will accept, and it's an absolute no-brainer. Beautiful. We got our defenseman, we have our forward, we have our top goalie. I think the Utah Hockey Club are set for the future. Now, of course, my plan, this was the end of the rebuild, 3 years in Utah. We almost made the postseason. We only lost by 1 point. We didn't have a great record at 37, 37, and 8. Nashville got the last spot in the Central. In the entire NHL, the Oilers are dominating, 59 wins. Holy smokes. Logan Cooley had a good season, 22 goals, 73 points. He was a minus 22, though. Everybody on our team were basically minuses. Gavin McKenna, as a rookie, put up 31 goals. You love to see it. Matias Maselli was decent. Sergachev, I can't believe I can't even get rid of Sergachev. He's got a full no movement clause. Brandt Clark, he was a great addition to our squad. And if we take a look at our goalie, Devin Levi, he didn't play a lot of games for us, so most of the stats are going to be with Buffalo, but hopefully this guy can develop. He's 25 years old, 85 overall, and if not, we got 2 young goaltenders of the future in Ravensburg and that other guy that I can't remember his name. McDavid had the most points in the NHL at 125, tied alongside Braden Point, and for the most goals, it will go to Shaq Hyman, who put up 56 on the season. Also, Pete Matvey-Mishkov, 53 goals, 102 points as a 22-year-old. Oh, how I wish I could grab this guy, dude. I can't wait. The Florida Panthers will win another cup in the simulation. They beat Colorado in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Draisaitl will win the Ted Lindsay, Hyman the Maurice Richard, McDavid the Art Ross, and Draisaitl the Hart Trophy. What on earth are the Edmonton Oilers smoking? Bouchard also won the Norris. Gavin McKenna got the Calder. Of course, he did. Reinhardt the Conn Smythe. Skinner the Vezina. And Vinny Trocheck will win the Selke. So it looks like the Oilers might be a good team in the simulation. The Ottawa Senators will win the draft lottery. Utah fell back 1 slot from 12 to 13. Of course, my scouting has now failed me, so this part of the video, I gotta stop rebuilding. Any gems here? There are no gems available. Everybody is unknown, so I guess I'm just gonna go with the first guy here. Arnold Harris. He is completely unknown. He's from the DEL, and he's a top 9 high forward. We went after Drake Batherson and another swing and a miss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They just keep stealing all of my free agents. And also, this conversation system quite literally is trash. Like, I was trying to sign Devin Levi for the longest time, and we settled on like 6.3 mil for 5 years. I asked him, how much money would you want for a 5-year contract? He said comfortable with 6.3. I offered it to him, and yet he still declined the offer. So EA, what is the point of negotiating if the contract that he says he will sign, he doesn't sign. Now, I wanted to improve the roster a little bit more over the offseason. Maybe we can make a trade, but right now we're rocking with McKenna, Cooley, and Keller, +5 in that first line, followed by Maselli, TJ Ginla, who's up to an 86, and Dylan Gunther. Even our third line's pretty decent. Fourth line does need some work, but defensively, we got a good top pair with Sergachev and Brandt Clark. We got Kesselring alongside Clevin. We could throw Petrov up there. Even 2 years into his career, he hasn't grown at all in overall. And we have an 86 Devin Levi as our starting goalie with our young prospect and Antti Kukkonen. Medium elite potential, 73 overall. He's only 20 years old also. Honestly, I have no idea if this is going to go through. We got Maselli, second, third, and a fourth, and another second for Pavel Mintyukov. I literally folded at first sight. This guy, I traded for him all the time in 24. He was a great defenseman to have. Let's see if we can get him here in 25. They're totally unwilling, so we're not going to be able to grab him from Anaheim. Perbix is a veteran defenseman that I do want to add to the squad. I loaded up the draft picks to see if Anaheim will accept my offer, and they do. Very happy to accept the proposal, and we just bolstered our D-core a little bit. We desperately needed a veteran D guy at like 83 overall, which he is, to add and hopefully help us out at least defensively. Nick Perbix will slot in very nicely alongside Michael Kesselring, and then we have Petrov and Clevin on our bottom line pairing. All right, I think it's time that I start cooking up some trades. We need some depth pieces, so Atu Ratu and Lekaramaki from Vancouver for Campbell, Hutanen, a third and a fourth, and they have accepted the trade offer. We'll see you out on the ice. I'm not expecting to win the Stanley Cup right now. I'm honestly waiting for a big name free agent that could pop up possibly in the offseason. But we're going to go ahead with this roster and hopefully see some improvement. Maybe we can sneak into the postseason. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Right now, I am debating moving off of Clayton Keller. He is the captain of our team. Not for much longer, though, with Gavin McKenna coming up and getting a little bit older. I mean, 33 goals as a rookie is pretty good. He is going to be the face of the franchise. And we also need a sniper on that first line. Technically, we could move up Dylan Gunther. He's an 87 overall, but I want like a bona fide 90-plus guy. Either a power forward or a sniper to put alongside McKenna and Cooley. Cooley in the middle can be that sniper. McKenna is somewhat of a playmaker himself, so he can also score. He can do basically everything, and then we'll have a bona fide power forward or a legit true 40-50 goal man on the wing alongside them. Yet again, another mediocre season by Utah. I mean, 79 points, 35 wins, 38 losses, 9 in overtime. We weren't really that great. Colorado is at the top of our division, and the Oilers for the entire NHL. At the moment, they pretty much own it. 57 wins. We weren't near the bottom, though, which is a good thing. We were a mid-team. There is my man, Gavin McKenna. 41 goals, 95 points. Keller had 78, Cooley 69 and 48 apples. Dylan Gunther was pretty good, only 20 goals though. Brandt Clark is going to put up numbers on this team. I swear to God, Matthias Maselli is a good second line winger, and we got a lot of young guys. Devin Levi only had a 9.02 with 31 wins and 1 shutout. We're paying this man what, $5 million for like 2 more seasons, so he's going to want to raise after that. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with the goalie situation. Maybe we can get one of our young guys that we drafted locked up long term on like a low ball offer. Nathan McKinnon had the most points in the NHL at 135, and Kirill Kaprizov had the most goals at 68. This is what we need. This is what we need Gavin McKenna to become. A bona fide superstar to put up like 50 goals, over 100 points, and I think then we'll start to simulate like a true contender. The Boston Bruins would go on and beat Dallas in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup here in 2028. If we take a look at the awards, McKinnon will win the Lindsay, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy, Kaprizov, the Maurice Richard, the Norris, the Cale Makar. We got McAvoy, the Conn Smythe. Spencer Knight has finally arrived, and he's going to take home the Vezina, and for the Selke Trophy, it will go to Joel Eriksson Ek of Vancouver. So I don't know if he signed there, got traded there, but he's now a member of the Canucks. We actually moved down 1 slot to 10th overall here in the draft lottery. Winnipeg won it. We got St. Louis 2nd and Philly 3rd. Oh my God, they moved up from 13th all the way to 3rd. The only bad part about trying to trade Clayton Keller is, yeah, he's got a full no movement clause. He's not waiving it. Oh my God, so we literally cannot get rid of him. Oh Lord, I am not handing these out. He's got no trade value because of it as well. He's literally a 90 overall. Only 1 year left on his deal, but we can't move him, so we pretty much have to let him walk to free agency, which is going to suck. I had a Cole Caulfield trade literally ready to go. Maybe we can still make this happen. Instead, I am going to go with Dylan Gunther. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's younger than Caulfield. He does make more, signed longer as well. Caulfield's only a few years older, though. He's like 28, 29 years old. And Gunther only puts up like 20 goals anyways. I'm going to throw in this year's first, a 6th and a 7th for not only Caulfield, but I'm also going to try to get Caden Cooley here from the Habs, and they are totally unwilling, so we're going to have to sweeten this deal. Throw in the second from this year and another second in 2030, and they are still unwilling, so unless we got something of value to give them, I don't think we're going to get this trade to go through. I'll have one more try at it, giving up a 2033 first-round pick, and the trade is still rejected, so we're not getting Caulfield from Montreal. I'm going to have to look for a different sniper that somehow I can drag to this team. So I am going to sign Clayton Keller, but I want to trade him. I'm not giving him a full no-movement clause. I don't believe in that, honestly. I know I like it as an addition to the game, but me personally, I like to move players when I see fit, and I'm not going to be giving them out left, right, and center. So another year goes by where we don't have any superstars in free agency. Matt Duchesne's the best available at an 87 overall. We got Raphael Lavoie from the Oilers. I might actually go after him. He doesn't have a lot of organization interest, but at an 86 overall, he's a big man. He's a sniper. He can put the puck in the back of the net. Now, guys like Duclair, Krebs, and Carlson all want to sign here, so we might be able to steal these guys. This might be the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Travis Dermott wants $6.1 million at an 82 overall. All these other guys are asking for like $2-3 million. I mean, the most is Lundqvist with a $5.4 million deal that they're expecting. Like, who does this man think he is? He's interested in my organization, but not a shot in hell. I'm giving you over $6 million at an 82. There's no reason why an 82 overall defenseman should be asking for this kind of money. So we did end up signing Anthony Duclair. He ended up deciding to accept my offer. Moving along here. Since we are in the offseason, I'm going to try this trade again. We got Keller there, a 2nd, 6th, and a 7th for Cole Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens. Will they accept it? And there we go. There's not too much deliberate about this deal. Montreal thinks they came out on top, and we got off of that horrible locker room cancer in Clayton Keller. Well, it is time to name a new captain here in Utah, and of course, it's going to be Gavin McKenna, 72. There he is. He will have a C on his jersey. I'm going to go ahead and give an assistant to Brant Clark can get an A, and on the offense, I want to give it to Cole Caulfield. He does have some experience in this league, so he can be an assistant here, help out McKenna whenever he needs help. Our forward core is looking pretty nice. We got McKenna, Cooley, and Caulfield on the first line, followed by Gunther, Aginla, and Maselli. Our third line consists of Duclair, Carlson, and Hayton, so we're definitely building for offense. And even our fourth line, we're all above an 80 overall defensively. Still have a great first line D pair with Clark and Sergachev. Petrov hasn't grown literally at all, which is a little bit weird. We got Perbix and then Kesselring alongside Lamoureux. And in the net, Devin Levi, still an 86 overall, while Kukanen now has grown to a 78 overall himself. Definitely an improved roster. Hopefully we'll be good enough for the postseason. If not, we might have to make some massive changes. We locked up Brant Clark long-term for 6 years. We put a lot of clauses into his contract to make sure he did accept it. And one more guy we're waiting on is Mr. Gavin McKenna. Will he re-sign with our team? I want to lock that dude up long-term. Is it not going to show me if Gavin McKenna is going to re-sign? I think I found a little bit of a glitch here. Gavin McKenna also accepted my extension, which was 10 years for $10 million for like 7 years, but it doesn't show me. It seems like when you offer multiple contracts out to players, it only does one, and then after that, you don't really get to see whether or not the player does sign with you in free agency. For re-sign phase, it's completely fine, but for free agency and no contract extensions, I'm not seeing if they accept or decline my offers outside of the first offer that I give to a player. Another season of being mid in Utah, 93 points. We missed the playoffs by literally 1 point. We were 42, 31, and 9. We had a decent record, but this Central Division, man, the top four just are hard to beat, to be honest. If we take a look at the entire NHL, we got Florida winning 62 games. They were the best team, and at the bottom, it was the Washington Capitals. Individually, Gavin McKenna took a little bit of a step back, and take a look at this. All of our best players are minuses. McKenna was a minus 19. Caulfield put up 38 goals. Cooley had 72 points. Maselli was very, very good on that second line. I literally cannot complain about him. Aginla, 31 goals himself. He did his thing. Brant Clark, I would like to see his numbers go up a little bit. And if we take a look at Devin Levi, despite the fact that he had 5 shutouts, a 901 save percentage is not going to cut it. 33 wins as well. David Pasternak, oh my God, 73 goals, will lead all skaters, and he also had the most points at 126. Like, this simulation is bonkers. The goal scoring now in NHL 25 is crazy. Look how many 50 goal scorers we had. We had like 14. Florida would end up breaking the President's Trophy curse as they went all the way, beating the Anaheim Ducks in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Nathan McKinnon will take home the Ted Lindsay Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross and Maurice Richard will go to Pasta. Cale Makar, the Norris, the Conn Smythe to Barkov. Spencer Knight will win another Vezina. And for the Selke, we got Austin Matthews winning it. Utah will be selecting 15th overall in the NHL draft. We literally don't move at all. And I mean, we're a good team, so I'm not expecting a high pick. I might end up trading that pick, to be honest, as I'm trying to contend now. I'm not too worried about the draft. I'm worried about free agency, trading, improving the roster. I'm done with the rebuild. I will throw a first, fifth, and Lekaramaki at Montreal for Patrick Fortnite Line. He signed to a little bit of a high contract for 3 more years, but I saw this guy just put up 40 goals and 90 points in the simulation, and we need goal scoring, so he can be on that second line, and there we go. We probably could have got something else back. Maybe we did get fleeced, but oh well. It is what it is at this point. Now, somehow I actually got Duclair to waive his no-trade clause, making $5.1 million. Definitely overpaid. He only has 1 year left on his deal. We got Marshall there and a fourth for Lacombe from the Anaheim Ducks to add to our decor, and there we go. He felt guilty for accepting the offer, but we got back the defenseman to fill out our decor because we had like a 74 overall starting in the National Hockey League. We are still a great offensive team. We got Caulfield, Cooley, and McKenna on that first line. Gavin's up to a 91-0. Gunther will be alongside Iginla and Laine, who could slot in very nicely with all the X factors in the world. We got Josh Stone with Hayton and Maselli. Maselli put up 70 points last season, so I'm going to try to fit him in on like the power play lines and stuff just to make sure that he does get enough ice time. And our fourth line center is an 85 overall William Karlsson. Still have Sergachev and Clark. Perbix will be alongside Lacombe, and then Petrov and Lamoureux. And in the net, we definitely took a step back. Kukinen's up to an 83. He's the goalie of the future, and we got Schmidt as the backup. Finally, for the first time in franchise history, Utah has made the postseason. 47-31-4, 98 points. We were literally the best in our division most of the year, again, until the trade deadline. For some reason, whatever happens to my teams after the trade deadlines, I literally cannot explain it. Like, I didn't make any moves. I hopped in there. I took a look at some players available, but I didn't do a thing, and we still started losing games after the fact. Edmonton, best team in the league. 58 wins. They were at the top, and at the bottom we got the Washington Capitals. Finally, McKenna is that superstar he was promised to be. 57 goals, 108 points. Maselli had 81. Caulfield had 80 and 37 goals. Cooley had 80, so 4 80-point scorers. TJ Ginla himself had a good season. Dylan Gunther was not really that great. Maybe he's on the chopping block if he doesn't produce. And I mean, Patrick Laine, 20 goals. I was expecting a little more than that. I can't even lie. And Kukunen, 899 save percentage, 1 shutout, but the most important stat of all is he got us to the playoffs. He is also a rookie goaltender, so I'm not going to harp on him too much. Oh my God, Connor McDavid had the most points. Kaprizov, the most goals at 71, and the most points would be McDavid with 145. Look at these bonker numbers, man. We got Savoy putting up 116 on the Edmonton Oilers. I know he's playing alongside studs, but Jesus. Wyatt Johnston was good. Makar, all these players just putting up ridiculous numbers. And for our first ever playoff series, we are up against the Dallas Stars here in round number 1. I have no idea how we did it. We were down 0-3 in the first round, but we rally back 4 straight and win in overtime in a Game 7 scenario. We're off now to round number 2 to face the Avs, who do have a very tough challenge for us. We straight up violated the Avs, sweeping them in round number 2. Now we're off to the conference finals to face the Oilers, who I believe did win the President's Trophy. This team is absolutely unbelievable. There's honestly not a very high chance that we beat them. I'm just glad to make it this far. We've had a playoff run in our first ever time making the playoffs. Here in a Game 7 scenario, we are trying to close the deal. Up 3-2 over Edmonton, and that is going to do it. And the Utah Hockey Club, for the first time ever, in their first ever try in the postseason, will make the Stanley Cup Finals. I have no idea how we beat this Edmonton Oilers squad, but we got it done in 7. It was a tight-ass series, but we came out on top, and now we have a Stanley Cup Final berth available to us, and making the playoffs for the first time, not only making it, but also making the Stanley Cup Finals. I gotta stop saying making. There it is, Gavin McKenna, Connor McDavid, maybe a little bit of the passing of the torch to the younger generation. And now in the finals, we have a matchup against the New York Rangers, a best of 7 to win the Stanley Cup here in 2030. Can we get the job done? I swear, if we made it all this way just to lose in the goddamn Stanley Cup Finals, I will never, ever rebuild this team ever again. And after all the trials and tribulations, GM Pasta has built a championship contender here in Utah. I mean, our first try in the playoffs playoffs. We get the job done after like 5 or 6 years of missing. This team is resilient. We were built for long-term success, and finally it is paying off as we defeat the New York Rangers in 5 games. I believe it was 5 or 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Matias Maccelli is the Conn Smythe winner, 11 goals and 28 points. As a third liner is honestly a little crazy that he won the Conn Smythe trophy. That's how well he does simulate in this game though, and there it is finally. Lord Stanley about to be raised in the Joe Louis Arena. Yes, EA Sports did not put in the Utah Hockey Club Arena. It is just a copy and paste from Joe Louis from years ago, and here is our captain, Gavin McKenna, being able to raise the Stanley Cup for the first time in his NHL career as a captain as well, one of the youngest captains ever to raise the cup for a franchise, and this will always be remembered for years and years. Mikhail Sergachev, you've been here basically since the beginning, brother. You got traded from Tampa, played on this team. You had a no movement clause that really grinded my gears, I swear to God. I wanted to move Sergey so many times, but I just cannot do it. Matias Maccelli has been a solid second and now a third line winger on this Utah team, and somehow he won the Conn Smythe. We gotta hand it off to him. He definitely deserved it after the playoff run he literally just had. And the off-season acquisition in Cole Caulfield, we traded Clayton Keller, our former captain, for him. He put up like 39 goals, which I was expecting a little bit more, but I really cannot complain. We literally have won the Stanley Cup in the first season with Caulfield. Oh my God, they are going to surround the Stanley Cup and be able to take a photo right in front of it. Oh man, brings a tear to my eye. Taking a look at our playoff stats, Matias Maccelli clearly was our best player. He had 11 goals, 28 points. Barrett Hayton put up 22. Aginla had 20. Line Gavin McKenna wasn't even close to being our best player. I mean, he's only 22. Caulfield wasn't that great, to be honest. Brant Clark was decent. Dylan Gunther had an okay playoff run, and for our goalie and Kukkonen, a 926 literally was our backbone back there between the pipes. We don't even have a hockey name, but we do have a Stanley Cup here in Utah. Taking a look at the individual stats, McDavid the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart Trophy, Kaprizov the Maurice Richard, Makar will win the Norris, obviously Maccelli the Conn Smythe, Swayman, who's now on the Red Wings, will take home the Vezina, and the Frank J. Selke will go to Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators. Well, I believe that completes the challenge of bringing Utah's very first Stanley Cup to this fine state. It was never a goal of mine to create a dynasty here, but just become the first GM to actually win a cup with the squad. We got it done in the year 2030, so like 7 years later, we got the job done. I don't even know if my math is even mathing right now. If you guys would like to see a part 2 of this, make sure you let me know in the comments below. I'll probably pin a comment at the top to see if you guys do want a part 2. Let me know also what other videos you would like to see on the channel. If you didn't already, like and subscribe to the channel for more NHL content just like this. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.